Okay, the project tonight is we're going to change a set of tires from the ZX10. There's the tires. Got the old Pirelli Diablo Super Corsas. I'm going to throw on a set of Q3s. Here's the tool collection. I just have a little wooden box you can use for working on the tires without damaging the disc brakes, the rotors. I have my little bead breaker bar, tire balancer, got a couple of spoons, tire lube, valve stem, air chuck, collection of little valves, some wheel weights, 30-gallon plastic pail. Plastic's nice. You can throw the rim up here, throw a tire up here. You won't damage your rim. And but the only thing I'm missing, I need to make a set of some rim protectors. Alright, we're gonna make some rim protectors. Deli Cat ought to do it. These work good. Just cut it out. It's easy enough. I usually just make 4 of them. There's 1, 2. There we go, rim protectors. I guess the first thing should be pretty obvious. We're going to let the air out of the tires by pulling the valves. By taking the valve core out. And now we're going to break the bead. To break the bead, I got my little box here. I'm going to use the wife's bumper from the minivan. Just put the rim on there. The wood will not damage the rim. The rotors are off the ground. Got my handy bead breaker. You don't need a hinge on there, but it's just a lot nicer so you don't have to mess with it. Here we go. Just line it up. Put it where you need it. That'll probably do right there. Stand on one end. Yeah, pull it out a little more. There we go. Stand on it. And there we go. That broke the bead right there. Go ahead and turn it around a little bit, loosen it up. You can see the bead's pretty much broken all over. There we go. And flip it over, do the other side. Like that. There we go. And there we go. So now the bead is broken on both sides. And now let's take the tire off. Some people may not know the secret. It's not much of a secret, but to take a tire off, you want to take your knees and get the bead on the opposite side where you're working. And get that bead into the center of the rim. Diameter in the center is smaller. That'll loosen up the other side. Get the spray on some tire lube. Go ahead and get your rim protectors in there, like so. I'm just gonna go ahead and put a couple in there, like that. Another one. I hate scratching my rims, which is half the reason I do this myself. Too many of these shops scratch your rims. I'm gonna go ahead and spray some more on there. And that's it. Get down there, grab yourself the bead. And that's really it. There she comes. Not much to it. There we go. The one side is off. Just pull it up. We're gonna flip it over. I'm gonna put it on the barrel just because it's a little easier to use. Alright, we'll throw it up on the barrel. Get the other side. You can see that drop down. Get my fancy rim protectors. Spray some lube on. I'm gonna just feed this through. Like so. I'm just gonna put 2 on there. Probably won't need more than that. Once the bead's broken on one side, it comes off pretty easy on the second side. Again, you want the opposite side to be in the center of the rim, and feed that through. You can see already how it's pretty much just gonna come right off. Once you get it started, you can usually just kind of push on it like that, and there she goes. All right, that's one tire off. And now I'm going to take a couple minutes. I'm going to clean up the whole rim. Most important, I'm going to go around the bead. Make sure there's no scratches or rubber residue from the old tire. This looks pretty clean. The last set of tires weren't on there very long. But if so, take a little Scotch 3M pad, clean it up. This is something, when you get your tires in at the shop, they're not going to do. They're just going to slap a new tire on. And if you ever notice how, you know, you end up losing a pound or 2 psi per week on your tires, it's probably because they didn't clean the beads and it's just slowly leaking. You clean these beads really good, your tire's not going to lose pressure at all. So I'm going to clean these up, and then we'll come back and put a new tire on. Okay, we are back. And I've cleaned up the rim. Now the first thing you want to do is line up the rotational direction of your rim. You'll find a little arrow on there. I'm sure everybody knows that. There's a little arrow. You want to get your tire. It'll have a directional arrow as well. Match those up and you're good to go. So first thing we're gonna do is get one side of the bead on. Match your arrow, you're good to go. And first thing I'm gonna do is get a little my tire lube on there. Just gonna get everything nice and wet. You can start to squeeze down one side like that. And again, you get to the point where it starts getting a little tough, and now you got to use tire irons. Alright. Put your rim protectors on. I'm just going to throw in a bunch of those. Like so. And get those nice and wet. We'll grab a bead, grab the side of the rim, make sure this side is centered, and just start putting that on. Again, with only one side on, it'll go on pretty easy. And probably about push it on now. Like that. I got the one side done. I'm going to take it over to my little frame and put it on the ground. Alright. Okay, we got the one side on. We're gonna go ahead and get one half of the bead on this side. You can squeeze most of it around till it gets too tight, and then start using your knees to keep the bead centered in the rim. And there you go. Alright. So you want to get your rim protectors in there. You can get them in there pretty good, like so. Juice up everything. Get some weight on your knees. Start working it from opposite corners. If you can move your knee, keep that coming around. Keep moving your rim protectors. Like so. Keep moving your knee. As it starts getting tighter, you gotta take a little smaller. Like that. And there we go. And second bead is on. And now we're ready to seat the bead. put it back up on the drum for that. Now I still have the valve core out because you want to get a good rush of air in that tire to seat the beat. So let me go fire up the compressor and we'll get that done. Okay, we're back. I got the air compressor all charged up. Nothing massive, but it'll work. First thing I'm going to do is make sure we get both sides nice and wet. Wet that side down. I'm going to wet this side all the way around. I have a little air chuck that I've hollowed out the center. There's no valve core, so we're just going for a rush of air. And get that on there. I got my quick connect. And here we go. And that's it. You heard both sides pop. Now what I'm going to do is you want to go around and double check the bead real good. Make sure the tire's on nice and even. Looks good. I'm going to put the valve core back in and get her inflated up. Okay, 42 psi. Let's see where we're at. Alright, so overfilled her a little bit, that's alright. Alright, at 42. And you should take the tire, kind of bounce her a little bit. She's good. Alright. Check the bead once again. Looks good. Nice and even all around. Nice and even. Okay, now we just need to balance the tire. You notice I left the weights on. Don't take them off, because 9 out of 10 times it's usually the rim that's out of balance. And if you were to take them off, balance the tire, half the time you end up sticking the weights right back in the same place. So I usually don't take them off until I'm balancing it, and if it says I need to remove them. Let's balance the tire. Okay, on these little spin balancers like this, got it at Harbor Freight. As the reviews talked about, it's good to replace this rod with a high quality piece of steel. So I replaced that. For anybody that's never used one of these, you let the tire settle. You're just going to mark it, piece of tape. You're going to give it a spin, and what you want to see happen is if it stops in the exact same place, that tells you there's a heavy spot that's going to the same position every time. Let's give it a spin and we'll come back and see where it stops. Okay, this tire 2-3 times it stopped with the blue tape in the top position, which tells me it's out of balance. I'm going to go ahead and take off the weights that I have on there, and I'm going to rebalance it with a new set of weights. Then what you do is you put some test weights on there. Just tape them on for now, find out where you want them. And once you figure out the weights you need and where they go on the rim, I actually take them off. I like to paint them. I'll paint them the same color as the rim, and then I'll stick them on, and we'll be done. And there you go.